Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you guys. Good evening. This is the post-market analysis session of the 31st of March 2022, and this was the last trading session of the month of March this year. Let's talk about Nifty today. Ask yourself, where are the buyers, where are the sellers? What does the first candle suggest? You can see that we had marked this particular level here. You can see the level being 17,522.30. Very unsurprisingly, this green candle opens right above that level, which is the PDH, and it takes support right at the PDH. Now, why does it take support right at the PDH? Because you can see here that price yesterday had come up here, and from here it had crashed from there. When price opens above it, it is a support. So whenever we mark a level as a resistance, if price opens above it, it's going to act as a support, and that is a classical example that we saw today. The first candle is taking support at exactly at the PDH. So you should always ask yourself who are present in such type of candles. You can see that buyers are strong in this candle, isn't it? Because it's a green candle. On top of it, it's got a very long wick on the bottom. And then you can see here that this was the level of 17,540 at which price was taking resistance. So it was caught between two levels, and then there was R1 pivot above it. So there are two levels on top of it on which price below which price is caught. So you can see that the R1 pivot was not broken today, and many a times when the R1 pivot holds, price usually takes resistance at the R1 pivot and then it reverses towards the CPR. How many times have I told you that it happens? So many times I have said. I've also talked about it in the magnet trade video, that price, whenever it opens between the R1 and the CPR, and whenever the CPR is fairly broad, it doesn't have to be very broad, but fairly broad or broad is also okay, then the price, if it shows reversal patterns anywhere at the R1 pivot, then there is a good chance that the price is going to go and hit the CPR again, and that is exactly what happened today. So in such circumstances, you can see here that price at this level with the 9:20 AM candle had not reached the CPR yet. So the price was yet to reach CPR. It opened here, it came down here, and again shot up from here. Then at this level, you can see how much resistance it is taking at the R1 pivot. Can you see these wicks here? So many wicks here, and the wicks show us that there are sellers here. So it was the 9:40 AM candle, again it was the 9:50 AM candle, and again a 9:55 AM candle. Three candles giving us absolute confirmation that the price was going to reverse from there. So a very good opportunity here was to enter short below these candles somewhere here and with the SL on top here, and then you could have taken your profit at the top CPR, or if you are ready to wait and you are patient enough, then you can take your profit back at the central pivot also. That is a very good strategy to take. The only issue here being that Bank Nifty was not under the R1 pivot. It had broken out of the R1 pivot at 9:35 AM itself. Let me just zoom Bank Nifty up a little bit so you can see better. This was the 9:35 AM candle, and Bank Nifty had already gone and shot past the R1 pivot. Now here at such times, I am a little skeptical and a little careful going short or taking any positions such as the magnet trade in whenever the other index is out of the R1 pivot, whenever it's trading above the R1 pivot, because a lot of time what happens is, if the index is trading above the R1 pivot and one is trading below it, then one might take resistance and pull the other down, or the other which is above the R1 pivot might be strong enough to pull the one below the R1 upwards. So I am not very positive about such trades whenever I see that one index is doing good, and I actually had seen that Bank Nifty was doing well right since the morning. I will talk about it when I talk about the Bank Nifty analysis, but for now just letting you know that I was not very positive about that trade today, because of Bank Nifty trading above the R1 pivot. We will go back to Nifty. So what do we see here? This first candle shows us that there are buyers in that candle, and it indicates that there is going to be a good buying strength. But then immediately we see these kind of strong red candles, and this is the low of the first candle. And many a times what happens is, whenever the low is taken out, then the price tends to collapse. But here, since the CPR was right below it, there was never going to be any shorting opportunity at that level. That was one thing for sure. So at least one thing was good, that at that level there was no opportunity that was known to us. Now what happened later with this candle, you could see that buyers came back very strongly. So now what do you know here? You know that if you draw a box from the low of this candle to here, up to here, or maybe even up to here, that's also okay, the wick, you can see here that buyers are very strong within that zone. This is what the story of buyers and sellers is telling you. So you should always ask yourself, where are the buyers, where are the sellers, and then it is very easy to choose sides. So here, tell me something, or ask yourself right now, or you can also pause the video for 5 seconds and ask yourself, who is stronger? Are buyers strong or are sellers strong? Let me tell you here, the buyers took price from here to here, sellers pushed price down from here to here, and buyers took price up from here to here. And you can see here that there is a tennis match going on. And do you think that you should really suffer from FOMO at such times and you should really jump into a trade? No, you should not do that. You definitely do not know who is the strong party here. It could be the buyers, it could be the sellers. You have no idea who is stronger. So let the trade go, it does not matter. Let the price run away, it does not matter. If the price just simply ramps up from here, it does not matter. Let it go. It is not going to be the end of the world if the price runs away. I know many of you suffer from FOMO, and that is the reason why I am telling you so clearly and again that you should not enter territories where there is a strong war zone, the war zone between buyers and sellers. Learn to read price action. Now here you could see that, as we spoke before, the R1 pivot was acting as a very strong resistance. Why was it a very strong resistance? This candle tells you why it was a very strong resistance. Look at these two candles, such strong candles, but yet you see that price goes ahead and it forms a pin bar here, a bearish pin bar. And then you can see that again there is a green candle, the buyers try again, but then there are two pin bars which are forming here, and then you know that buyers are losing their steam in such a position. And then look at this price action all the way down from here to here. How many green candles can you count here? There is one green candle here, there is one green candle here. And then price kind of got a little bit of a pullback here. That was where the sellers were booking a slight bit of profit, and then again a crash right up to CPR. And again, tell me, how many green candles? 1 and 2. Just the lonely 2 green candles. And then at CPR price comes down, and here price forms a base, and then you can see a pattern here. Let's just see this pattern here, and here I'm talking about these 2 candles. So you can see that this is an this pattern is where this is the outer border of this candle, and this particular red candle is formed right within it, inside it, right? And then what happens is the buyers have completely taken over the trend here. The downtrend has been completely taken over, and then the buyers start to push price upwards. And now here on this upward journey, tell me, how many red candles do you see? Not a single red candle after the trend reversal right up to here. Then you see a consolidation here, okay, and then a push upwards again. Now you can again see that this was the area where price had taken resistance. So here again, when price comes to this level, the green candle here is overshadowed by the red candle, and then again there is a change in trend and the price drops. So a literal tennis match today, and exactly around the area where the buyers were initially in control at the early part of the day, you can see the wicks here now. See the wicks in this area. Such strong long top wicks. What do the wicks suggest? That now that area is dominated by sellers. So where there were bulls dominating it here it is dominated by the bears, and the price is not allowed to break that level and go up. Again, we see the same phenomenon. Earlier, the level that was support has now acted as a strong resistance, and you can see all this intraday. How beautiful price action is. You will see and you will learn price action this way. And so typically on such days, such kind of days are where buyers and sellers are equally strong. There's a slugfest between buyers and sellers, and none of them really wins the battle, and so price just keeps going within a particular range. So you could see today that the price was trading for the entire time between the CPR and the R1 pivot. And now let's go ahead and mark some important levels in Nifty. What do we see here? Okay, we see that the CPR here has been broken today, so it's not a virgin CPR anymore. What we will do is we will delete this level on top. We will adjust this level now. Okay, this level should be adjusted to the top of the R1 pivot, today's R1 pivot, and then we will also ensure that we have to mark a zone here. So we'll mark another line here. Two close lines together will act as a zone, and here we already had a zone marked. You can see here how busy the price was around this zone. See here, so around the same zone that we had marked yesterday, and that is how powerful support resistances and supply demand zones are. Okay, now what we will do is we will just simply adjust this position to the day's low here, and we will just mark a level here. So now this level will be important. I'll just show you the levels here. The levels being 17,444 and 17,435. That's a zone that I have marked. You can go ahead on Twitter and you can take these charts down from there. I have been publishing these charts daily on Twitter. One more important level that I find here is this level, which price found it difficult to break. So we see here that price gave a pullback. Now here, after falling, price gave a pullback up to that level. Then again it fell and buyers pushed the price up to this level, and again sellers came strongly in at that level itself. So that level has formed intraday today. So for subsequent days, this level will be important. Okay, I don't see any other important levels as of now in Nifty. So what we will do is we will go over to Bank Nifty now to check Bank Nifty's price action and analysis. Alright, here we have Bank Nifty on our screen. Let's start analyzing Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty opened with this red candle, which was a red bodied candle, but it had a long wick on the bottom. And many a times when I see such wicks, I am a little bit in two minds what to do here, because you can see that the CPR was right below it, one thing, and the second thing is such candles are indecision candles for me. They really don't suggest anything, although the color is red, yes, so you know that the sellers are strong at that level. But then again, what does this candle tell you? The candle tells you that the price opened here. Now you can see this price here, open is 36,463.85 and the high is also 463.85. So it's a open is equal to high candle, and open is equal to high candles are always strong indicators of strong selling strength there. So the price was pushed down here up to the CPR. You can see that it is taking support at the CPR, but then the buyers came in and they pushed the price 50% upwards and erased 50% of the body of the red candle. Now that suggests and it advises to me that such candles are indecision candles, frankly, and that 5-minute session was not dominated by sellers. So although you see that it's a red candle, but for me that session has not been dominated by any single party. neither buyers nor the sellers. And then the second and the third candle actually happened to push the price back towards the low of the first candle itself, and the price went down to the central pivot. You can see here that the price touched the central pivot, and now I could see that yes, it was a 15-minute session of the sellers, the session that was dominated by the sellers. Why? Because you can see here that within this wick these two bodies have been formed. So it means that the sellers have been successful in pushing the price down towards the CPR. And then right at the CPR you see this strong bullish candle. So now what do you know? You know for a fact that this particular area, you can cover the wick and draw a box around it. Let me just draw a permanent box around it. I'll draw a better box. Okay, we'll have this box around it now. So you know now that this particular area has strong buyers in it. Okay, why do we have strong buyers in it? The reason being that this entire zone from here to here, 15 minutes being dominated by the sellers, even after that the buyers have come out and erased that entire candle out. Those entire 15 minutes of selling strength completely wiped out in just 5 minutes. Can you imagine the buying power in this particular candle? So now what we are going to do is, we know that this is the buyer's area. Alright, this is the buyer's zone, that is the demand zone. Buyers are sitting and firmly defending their territory there. They're not going to allow the price to drop below that level there. So now what is it that I know? In other words, I know that today's CPR is strong. It is powerful enough. Why is it powerful enough? Because after 15 minutes of fight from sellers to defeat the buyers came back in just 5 minutes. What the sellers could do in 15 minutes, the buyers did in 5 minutes. And so I know that the buyers are very strong here. So I definitely don't dare short this market today. That was the thing that these 4 candles had surely told me initially. But then again, you know that this is the buyer's area. That doesn't mean that anywhere up here it's going to be the same story, isn't it? This could be the seller's area. So then now I know that whenever price comes to the R1 pivot here, I know that I have to be careful here. Why? Because this is the area where the sellers were strong initially. Okay, now I can see that the buying has pushed the price up, but that is now, right? That is EOD that I'm talking about, not when the live market is going on and this sort of candle is being formed. So I should be careful at that area, which is this area here. And then when I see that this particular candle is formed as a follow-up to this strong candle, then here my confidence is shaken in about shorting in Nifty also. So you see now why I said that Bank Nifty did not give me confidence of shorting today. That was exactly the reason why. In spite of Nifty taking resistance at the R1 pivot, this is the reason why I was not confident shorting it in Nifty, because Bank Nifty could have easily broken R1, which it did, and then reached R2. And then we don't know, it could have been another trending day also. It was not a very wide CPR today. So we did not have CPR by our side to tell us that it isn't going to be a sideways day. And then after this fact, I was sure that I was not confident at all of taking anybody's side there, neither buyers nor sellers. And then obviously you saw that price did take resistance here, and in fact Nifty fell, so Bank Nifty also fell. But I'm sure if Nifty had shown strength today, Bank Nifty would have shown us a nice rally today. So it was actually Nifty that dragged Bank Nifty down. But anyway, so we saw a fall here, and then price re-entered the R1 pivot at this level. It did take a bit of support at this level here and formed a few doji candles there, trying to decide whether it was going to go up. But then since Nifty was following, Bank Nifty also decided, chalo, let's follow Nifty. And okay, now here that the area was the PDH here, it had to show some price had to show some dancing there, isn't it? So yes, price did dance from here, then it came here and danced up from here again. So it was like just because the level is there, I'm going to show some volatility there. And I've always said that such are busy areas, PDH, PDL and pivots, so around that price shows a lot of volatility. So you can see the volatility around here, the entire place. Price goes up from here, takes resistance, comes down here, takes support, bounces from here, then again takes resistance, comes down from here, then again spends time, then breaks this level, takes support, then goes up, again takes resistance, comes down, takes support, goes up, takes resistance, comes down finally. So that is what volatility is, absolute volatility. And then you could see that price was attracted back towards the CPR. It was obvious because Nifty was attracted towards the CPR, so Bank Nifty was also attracted towards the CPR. But here, the moment price comes to this area, now what do I know for a certainty? What do I have a surety of? I know I have a surety of the fact that the buyers were strong in this area. This is the buying zone. So I know that there are buyers sitting here. So now here I have some sort of certainty. So now when the price actually enters this zone, you can see how price has bounced. Here also it has bounced, come here and bounced. Here again it entered the zone but it bounced. So that is why you can see these green candles after the red candles. But none of them have shown any reversal patterns per se. But nonetheless, price did not break that level today. So you could call it a double bottom kind of a pattern, but it was very late in the day, and then there was really no point going long there, simply because you can see what sort of resistance price was taking here at this level. You can see the candles, the long candle wicks here. So obviously even if you had gone long somewhere in this zone, then where would your SL be? Below the CPR maybe, that's the safest place. And what is your profit level here? Now that is not a very good risk reward, isn't it? This is the SL and this is your target. So that is not a very good risk reward. So let it go. It doesn't matter. Let the price go. It does not matter. Anyway, it was the end of the day. There will always be a tomorrow. Okay, now let's go and check the levels for tomorrow. Okay, another day we see that there is an ascending CPR. So I had already said in yesterday's video, you can see here we have an ascending CPR here. I had said that it's a good sign to have ascending CPR, as well as the fact that price is trading above it. It's not breaking the CPR, and it's a good sign. So it's a positive outlook for the market as far as I am concerned, looking at intraday markets. Okay. We have marked a zone here. It's an important zone. We will just simply extend it forward. And we will also mark lines here so we know where the levels are. So you guys, wherever you pick the levels up from Twitter, then you will be able to judge it properly. We know that the PDH is going to act as a strong supply zone. It has fallen nearly more than 300 points today from the intraday high. So yes, that becomes an important zone there, but obviously, I mean, it has bounced also 300 points and then fallen back 300 points. So the price is definitely bouncing between two levels. It's kind of a tennis match day between buyers and sellers. Very strong fight by the buyers. And we will keep one level ready. You might find some reaction around this level here. So just to be careful around this area. It's again between the R1 and the CPR. So it's very close to the CPR. So I'm not sure how important that level will be in the upcoming session, since the level is so close to CPR. But we will see how that level reacts in the upcoming sessions. Yeah, as of now, these are the levels that are important that I can see, and we have all other levels marked. We do have the gap here on the top, and yes, yesterday I actually missed telling you about the gap. So what we will do is we will just extend all these levels and we will just mark the gap also. So we'll just extend all these labels also. And here we have a gap. So what we will do is we'll mark a box there. See, we will mark it from this point onward. This is the PDL of yesterday and yesterday's session and the day previous to it. So previous to previous session we have a gap left in between. So we have to be careful whenever price comes to that area. Yeah, so that black line, that black box is the gap. And just ensure that you mark that gap in Nifty also. I will be marking the gap in Nifty, and then I will be publishing the charts on Twitter. So please definitely go ahead and follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is the Pivot Trade, so you can go and follow me there, and you will get all the recent updates. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you've enjoyed it, please leave comments in the comment section below, and I hope you are finding these videos useful. I'm making them every day. At least make it a point to drop a message or a line about it. I feel nice reading your messages, and I definitely make it a point to reply to all your messages to the best of my capabilities. Thanks guys, and please share my videos with your friends and family so my channel grows more and more and I can reach out more and more to new traders. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and also hit the bell icon so you're notified each time I post a new video. Have a good night.